And then you'd be too tired for the good stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Who else is here?
Got it.
Okay, I don't see Bobby here, or I don't see Gary here.
Gary's here.
Ah, okay. Well, I've got to fix it out here so I can see everybody.
Yeah, that's scary. All right.
It looks like the three of us here.
Yeah. And Teresa told me she thought it was next week, and she's so slammed at the theater she won't make it this week. But she said, "Don't give up on me. I will make it one of these days."
You know what? I sent her a individual letter just encouraging her, you know, because I kind of know her a little bit. And
Yeah, you do.
I think we'll get her here. I think if anything, I'm more concerned about Anne. You know, I also texted or emailed her about a couple of things. One, hopefully that she's all right, can get back. But the other one was that we had I was supposed to be a guest on her show, you know, and that sort of fell apart. And I wanted to like rekindle it. So I've got a letter into her too. Let me just ask you one question though, because I am like technologically challenged. Just tell me, what is the date today? It's not a trick question.
It's the 18th of July.
All right.
Yeah, Dale's right.
Yeah, only because I wrote it down for my notes.
That means Gary hasn't made a huge mistake. So Gary is happy. You know, I think I got this thing now. I got it. You know, Raven is there's usually somebody crawling around on the floor around here. You know, one of my helpers is doing, you know, trying to get me up to speed and everything. But Raven left me on my own this week. He said, "It's on you now, bro. You know how to start it, and you should know how to end it." So I was like,
and it worked.
And it worked. All right. So, what's the latest in everybody's life? Start with Dale. What's
Well, I've had a lot going on. I bought a new car, which was a good thing, and I have this old Honda that I'm original owner, and it's almost 20 years old. It was a present from my husband after I took care of him the first round of cancer and chemotherapy, my little silver Honda. And I'm going to bring it back. I brought it from Arizona to here, and I've been using it. Anyway, I cleaned up my garage so that they both fit in the garage. And then I went and got my Honda that I've had parked in the driveway since I bought my new Subaru, and it wouldn't start. So I called AAA. Long and short of it is, it needs a new starter, and now it's waiting for me down at Island Honda. It's only going to cost me $800. Would you believe that?
That's a bite. That's a bite.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my tale of woe. It has a good resolution. I'll pick it up this afternoon. It'll be fine. So,
there you go.
Yeah. Then I won't have to rent a car when I'm in Arizona. That's the good thing.
There you go. That'll be terrific. So when are you coming back?
October. I usually in the fall I do the middle of October to the middle of December, so I can have Thanksgiving up in Cottonwood with my niece and her brood up there.
What's the temperature in Hawaii right now?
Oh, it's always 70s, 80s here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's always the same. It's so boring.
Nice.
I've been out there. I could go back and get bored more. You know, it's like.
Well, you can. Lots of people come. You know.
I know, Brett and
I have a guest room. You know, if anybody's serious.
Oh, you said the wrong word there, brother, sister, whatever.
Well, and they do have a direct flight from Phoenix. So
I know. I've been there. Well, you know, Don and I came like almost the day before COVID. That's the way I put it, you know, because nobody had ever heard of COVID. But as we were getting ready to come back, a couple of days from our flight, there was a ship that had an outbreak of COVID on it. And we're kind of like, what is COVID, you know? But we escaped. And a lot of people ended up in places they couldn't get out of because of COVID.
Right.
So we were lucky. How about you, Bobby? What's up with you?
Oh, I'm just hanging in there. Yesterday was a bad day for me. I was totally exhausted in bed asleep by 7:30 and couldn't barely move. And today I'm feeling pretty good. I just got back from the pool. I was water walking for an hour. And
Oh,
some days I have more energy than other days, but I went to see my neurologist and he didn't know a damn thing. So
That is exactly my opinion of my neurologist too.
I have a good neurologist, but this neurologist was the one who checked me out at the hospital. And so I was supposed to follow up with him. And I got his PA, and his PA just, after we left, Carol was with me. And I said, Carol, how did that sound to you? And she said, it sounded to me like that was his first patient he'd ever seen in his life. I said, that's the way it felt to me too. So I just didn't feel I got good information, but I'm going to my primary on Thursday, and she's supposed to be managing all of my medications anyway. So I'll find out if I can get off some of these medications I'm on right now. I have no clue what caused the stroke. It was a shock to me to hear of Nancy Rossman having a stroke just a couple weeks after I did, and she didn't make it. So
right.
And I just saw Nancy last Thursday at Phoenix Theater, and when she saw me, she came running across
I know.
the theater, and big hug and big smile, full of life, and now she's gone. So
yeah, I got to tell you my neurologist story. My neurologist was
well, just a second. Did you notice that Colette was trying to come on?
no.
I don't know who Colette is, but I got a little message.
Colette has been with us before.
Is that she?
Now,
so I think she might be trying to get on, but can't.
I wonder if there's something I can do. I'm not ready for
Well, look and see if she's in the waiting room. I mean, the message is gone now, but it was there quite a while because it looked like she was signing in, and then she was doing audio, and then she was doing.
Oh, you know what? I saw something down there. Well, that's just share screen. So, dang. Yeah, Colette is actually was a student with my.
Well, do you have her phone number? Somebody should call her and help her get on or something.
I don't. Well, let me finish my
Yeah, sure.
story there, and you'll understand a little bit better why I can't do that. I could do it if it were like one of y'all, but Colette was a student with my friend Dan Gleason, who teaches creative writing online. And he's when he teaches a unit on poetry, he always sends me poems for New Poets Wednesday. And Colette wrote some really nice stuff, but he doesn't have her email address, and I don't have her email address because she didn't send it to me, which is why I fuss about, if you want to be featured, send me an email. That way it's easy for us to correspond, and I can tell you when you're going to be on and everything. But that's I just wish, and unfortunately Raven is way out of town, so I guess the best I can do, now that is silly though, because I do have an email address for her.
Yeah, because you sent her the notice. I was just looking.
I was just saying.
Oh, okay, Colette, Hope, Anna.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. I just don't know what to do.
Okay.
Right now, in terms of getting her on,
Colette, are you trying to get onto the podcast?
Well, Dale's trying to get a hold of her, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to not leave anybody out there.
Yeah, I just sent a quick one-liner email to the email that's on here.
Okay, I think that's better than I could do. It took me all that time to remember that. Oh, I do have her address. She
I
is,
didn't even see her trying to get on.
I didn't
Yeah,
see,
it was just, well, I have it on gallery view, so I can see everybody, not just the one that's
Well, I
talking.
do too. I can
Do
see
you?
all
Okay.
three of you at once, but I didn't see any. I might not have noticed it.
well, it's not set up for us, for me to have to let her on. The way it works is now, she should just be on because she wants to be.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, she should be able to just hit the same link that we did, and then she'll be in the
Exactly,
waiting room and she'll come in. Yeah.
Well, I'll,
Okay. Oh,
Maybe
well,
she, maybe she did get on and see us and go, "Oh my God, I got to get out."
no, she did. She didn't. It was just the little dots on the bottom. Her face didn't come up, and the screen didn't come up.
okay, now I got this little green thing at the bottom of the screen that says share screen, and that's the only thing I got.
You should have one that says gallery.
Gallery?
Gallery view.
Gallery view. Okay, that's a new one on me. I mean, I understand what it would probably mean, but I don't have.
Anyway, I interrupted you, so why don't you had a story you were going to tell about a neurologist, or maybe we don't
yeah,
do that.
I don't even know if it's worth telling now. It's just I kind of want to piggyback on Bobby. My neurologist after my stroke, okay, was like he was waxing poetic. You know, he was explaining my situation to me in medical terms, pretending that he was dummying it down for the dummy. And I'm there and I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm listening. And I kept asking questions because I didn't understand what he was saying. I kept asking him to repeat himself. And all of a sudden he got so frustrated with me, he said, "Well, God damn it, you almost died. What do you want?" So,
Oh dear.
nothing.
Not a very good bedside manner.
Not a damn thing. I don't want a damn thing. Okay, thank you. I never went back to him either. Him or the other guy. You know, it's like. Anyway, let's talk about poetry. You know.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah.
Did you have something there, Bobby? I saw the lips moving past my.
I just said poetry. Yeah, that's what
Poetry.
we're here for, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I don't know if you know this, Dale. You probably do because you're on top of everything. But Bobby's blowing us out of the water. The last poem that he put on there is like I think well, it's very popular.
Well, the last I looked, there were like 53 people that had liked it. So
that's what I'm saying.
well, maybe I can write another one someday that will be as good.
Well, I think the special effects really add to it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Take away from the poem, but and you know, we're talking about the general populace here. These aren't all just my friends on Facebook. These are people that we're reaching out to, and you know, it's like they might be looking for more bang for their buck. You know, in terms of, I don't want to just read a poetry. I want it to speak to me on several levels. You know,
yeah,
music, or
yeah.
video, and you are very clever, Bobby. I have to give you that.
Well, and I my poems, I think you need the graphic with it to help get the impact of it. So,
yeah, it adds to.
I'll
It
tell you
certainly
what,
adds to it.
yours truly is studying up on graphics.
Are you?
Well, I know.
Look at you go.
I have not go, because again, technology, if it's even remotely, but I got people. So it's like and some of my people are gonna be looking at the next thing I put on there to see if we can spice it up. I mean,
well, I have tried to use clips, and I've spent a little bit of time doing the YouTube videos, and I can't quite put it all together yet. I can't figure out how to get all of the stuff together in one file to make it all happen, but I'll be working on it.
Yeah. By the way, I was talking to Raven in terms of when can we go on YouTube, and he was saying that we pretty much got all the wrinkles smoothed out. And we could actually, how do I want to say this? We could, you could actually go and see it. Okay, I think you have to go on. There has to be a hookup to my for like computer. But right now, I don't think we can show it to the public, which is what we're going for. But I think you can see it. Matter of fact, since I brought that up, I'll check with Raven and I'll tell you exactly what he's.
All right. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, I think it would be. I've seen the last one, and when I say we've got the wrinkles out, it's pretty tight. It just goes from I think it starts out with you, Bobby, and it's just something you say, and boom, we're into the thing, and it closes. It's tight. It looks good. It looks
good.
Okay.
I'd like to see it.
I'll make
Good.
sure that you guys see it
Yeah.
as soon as I can, and I think
Yeah.
within a few days. Raven's been kind of busy lately, but
Yeah.
he says
So Raven, I take it, has been editing it
yes.
because
I
because
didn't
I'm
see
sure
that.
there's a lot of stuff in between
Oh
that you
my
could probably
gosh,
cut
yeah,
out.
yeah. We might like it, but nobody else. No, but
Well, and also for privacy, maybe we wouldn't want it to be on one that's open for
you
everybody.
got a point there too. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you know what? I was really expecting maybe a couple more people. So now this is not really an excuse. It may sound like one, but it's not. I only have 2 poems today because I thought maybe we'd have more people, and we could give everybody a shot, or you all could read more than a couple of poems. So I guess Colette has left the building, so
Yeah.
it's just us.
Yeah.
Just us three.
Just us 3.
Yeah. She was knocking on the door, but she couldn't get in.
Yeah, and there's probably something I could have done, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's read some poetry.
Okay.
Okay, Bobby, since you're the hot ticket, you get to start.
Okay. Well, I found a poem that I wrote before I even knew I was writing poetry. It was about 5 years ago. I was sitting on the banks of the Little Logan River in Utah, looking across the railroad bridge, and the tracks went into nowhere. And I was sitting there thinking about it and thinking, I have no clue what's beyond what I can see. So I clicked a picture of that and wrote a poem. I stuck the poem on that picture, and it's called There Is More. And the poem is, there is more to a picture than the paint on the canvas. There's more to a song than the words on the page. There's more to a life than what you can obviously see. And there's more to God's love than what you've been told. And that was something I wrote like five years ago. And as I was sitting there looking down the train tracks, I was thinking, some people think they know me or have me figured out, but they don't have a clue because they don't know the whole story. And so that's where some of that came from. And then I thought, my son is a songwriter, and he's written songs that sound good and flow good, but we don't have a clue what the story is behind it, because he normally writes songs about his own life. And so it just became obvious to me that there's a lot more to a picture. I took that picture of the train tracks across the river and ran it through one of my filters. I don't I don't know if you can see it there.
Feet older still.
Yeah, not very well, really. But
Yeah,
you've posted that on Facebook. I've seen that
yeah, I
before.
did.
Oh, I didn't
This-
see it before. Oh, if I did, I
Yeah,
forgot.
it's
Anyway.
nice. Yeah, I remember it. It's a nice poem.
But it is a
Yeah.
lovely poem. I really like the poem.
Yeah, I do think maybe I might want to tweak it a little bit with the words, but it says exactly what I wanted to say,
Mhm.
that there is more than what you can see, more than what you've been
Yeah,
told.
yeah. I wouldn't change any of it, Bobby. It rolls very well the way it is.
I kind of feel, you know, you have and you would say, well, if a poet should have this, you know, some do, some don't, but you have a built-in sense of rhythm. It's just there. Even when you throw in an extra word, the way you do it is just, it works, you know.
Well,
It's one of those
my
things.
piano teacher in the 8th grade told me I had a good sense of rhythm too.
See, there you go. There you go. Don't tell me if that piano teacher came to a bad. I don't want to know about that, you know. But no, I definitely well, not to blow my own horn, but I sort of I could tell that from the beginning, you know, and you're getting better.
Well, you're the one that told me. I think you got more in you. You should write some more.
I
So,
was right, wasn't I?
well, I've been writing more, yeah, and
And
I
it feels good,
I
doesn't
got
it?
one I'll share later when it comes back around to me that I wrote
Mhm,
yesterday morning that my daughter just loves it. So
mhm.
That's really great. That's really,
yeah,
yeah, you know. Yeah, I've shared a couple of poems with my grandchildren, and now one was about my dog, so it was kind of like a given, you know. They were young enough, and I said the dog will get them, you know. But I was surprised at the questions they asked me afterwards. You know, I was like, "Was that was he your best friend?" I said, "Well, yeah, for quite
yeah.
some time, he was my best friend." And you get questions like that, and you think,
Mhm.
wow, I should read to my grandkids more often. I would if they were
You
around.
should, and they probably want to hear it.
Well, they're coming Thanksgiving, so they're going to get an earful.
They're gonna get it, yeah,
Yeah, I think you're up.
yeah. Oh, okay. Did you say me? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Dale's
Yeah, this is an old poem, and what I'm trying to do here is talk about the thrill of being able to make music. That's the emotion I'm going for, and I'm open for suggestion on this. This is a poem that I wrote quite a long time ago when I was playing the harp, and I have it in my book, but I never really was happy with it, and I just recently rewrote a lot of it. So I'm looking for real honest feedback on this. I don't want it to be too schmaltzy, you know. I mean, mostly I didn't like the ending. But anyway, here it goes. This is called Making My Harp Sing. In fact, I may have read it here one other time, I don't remember. Anyway, Making my harp sing. Notes congregate in a knot in my spine, shoulder high. Dots, flags, hollow circles, and black bubbles. Quickened by each prelude measure, they swell with anticipation, compressed and alive. They clamor, taking proper place in line. On cue, they breach my marrow, flooding past my elbows, vibrating in time like rhythmic lava, rushing, seeking to spill out through sturdy fingertips and thumbs. Thumbs that hammer rapid fire, daring taut strings to snap. The melody pounds in my ears. The beat lulls me. A glow in my chest rides like a surfing wave. My harp sings with a voice made of strings. I am the song my harp sings.
You play the harp?
Not anymore, and I was never really good at it. but that feeling of just like when you're singing, and the words and the song, and it just kind of comes from you, and just, and
Yeah.
you live it. I wasn't good at it, but I was able to enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah. The harp is a beautiful instrument to listen to.
And it's
Oh, yeah.
very difficult to play. You need a lot, and that's the problem I had with it. I was playing at a time when I didn't realize I had some structural problems in my hip. And you have to sit, your posture has to be great. And there's a lot of shoulder, back, and finger and arm strength that needs to happen. And it was very difficult for me to do that. So I'm open for suggestions on a different ending or any parts that you wondered what the heck I was talking about.
Well, can I hear it again?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Excellent idea.
Making my harp sing. Notes congregate in a knot in my spine, shoulder high. Dots, flags, hollow circles, and black bubbles, quickened by each prelude measure. They swell with anticipation, compressed and alive. They clamor, taking proper place in line. On cue, they breach my marrow, flooding past my elbows, vibrating in time like rhythmic lava, rushing, seeking to spill out through sturdy fingertips and thumbs that hammer rapid fire, daring taut strings to snap. The melody pounds in my ears. The beat lulls me. A glow in my chest rides like a surfing wave. My harp sings with a voice made of strings. But I am the song my harp sings.
If you went back about 4 lines, there's a part that just really grabbed me. Because you go into a kind of a conclusion, but it's just before that conclusion. I can't recall the lines, but if you look at it, just look at about the last 5 or 6 lines and see what you got.
You want to hear it again? Is that what you said?
Not just that part. Yeah. If you
the beat lulls me. Is that the part?
I think so.
The melody pounds in my ear. Yeah, this is the finale. Yeah, the melody pounds in my ears. The beat lulls me. A glow in my chest rides like a surfing wave. My harp sings with a voice made of strings, but I am the song of my harp. But I am the song my harp sings. I blew the
ending. You know
ending.
you're now. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear, and that really is an excellent ending. I mean, it really, that's powerful.
Okay.
And I've written about songs myself, and I've heard other people write about, doing something with a song, but that's right up there with the good ones that I've experienced. So thank you. What about you?
Is the first part too cryptic as far as describing notes as dots and flags and hollow circles and black bubbles?
But you know what I need is what through that poem, what are you trying to help me to understand about you?
Well, it's not about me, it's about the song.
But
it's about me experiencing the song. Well, the imagery I'm trying to portray is that, you read the notes, and the notes are, circles and flags and hollows and black, all the signatures that go with that. And that, when I would start a song, I would prepare for it, and it feels like the notes are in my spine, and playing the harp, I'm holding them back until, because my part that comes in, and that's where the prelude measure is. Okay, I'm waiting for my part when I come in, and the notes are already stuck in my spine, and I'm just waiting for them to come out. And finally, on cue, I release them and they come out through my fingers and I hammer the strings and do all this kind of thing. And in the last part, I'm riding the wave of how enjoyable that is to make that happen. I'm enjoying the song. I mean, that's the vision I'm trying to portray. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, what my imagery was picking up was that there's a song that's not in the notes, but in you and through
Yeah.
you, you're trying to get the song out.
Right.
Yeah.
The pleasure is releasing the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through me, yeah, and it comes out. Yeah.
I would only say the beginning of it for a minute is just kind of technical.
Yeah, and you're wondering what the heck is this all about?
And there's nothing wrong with that. Wondering and then finding out, that's what poetry does, you know. You make somebody wonder and then you take them someplace.
Right.
And you can,
Right.
I don't know, you know, you might look at that, but it's not a criticism, but I mean, that was the only thing when both times I heard it was like, okay, I see where she's going, and it is a technical thing that she's talking about. So maybe you don't have a choice. I don't know. But
well, the way I heard it was that, yeah, there's notes to play, but I'm trying to get me out through the music. I'm not necessarily going to follow the notes. I'm going to follow the flow, the rhythm, the beat, and you'll know a lot more about me when I get through with this song. That's
well, I hadn't really thought that, but that's probably true.
okay,
well, kind of the way it came across to me.
Yeah.
And I think I pictured, if I had just heard it, I would have pictured the author as a very, I don't know if the word is accomplished, but a very proficient harp player.
You know, it's be careful what you ask for, because next time we get together, I might be singing. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
because really in my present life, I'm really a bit more interested in being a lyricist than a poet. I mean, I can be both, but I am really interested. And what's funny about it is I was going to read one of the poems. Now, I wasn't going to sing it, but I was going to read one of my poems that's been made into a song.
Oh.
And I had 3 poems, and the one that was made into a song just disappeared because at some point I decided I was only going to do 2 poems. And you know, it's like, yeah, I could leave the meeting and I could probably scrounge around and find it, but I don't think I'll do that. But anyway, like I said, forewarned is forearmed, right? So if I break in the song next week, you asked for it. No,
thanks for the warning.
No, but I think music is important. You know, it's important to all of us, and I think and the 2 that you read were so different. You know what I mean? So it's like that means there's a whole lot more room for advancement. However, I'm going to read one of my non-musical poems.
All right.
You'll just have to live with it. Okay. All right, here we go. This was called The Argument. I am not the facts, not the policies. I am neither expert nor example. I am not the doer of deeds, be they great or small. I am instead the argument. I stand outside all creeds. I speak by doing nothing to embroil me in the world's endeavors to sort out who's in charge or who is wrong or who is right or who is godly or who is not, or even posit whatever godly means. I am nothing that anybody really needs because I have chosen not to serve. And yet, I am anybody's champion, full of time, full of space, full of understanding, I am the argument, pure and simple.
I like that.
I
Is
do
that
like,
in your, is that in your book? I don't remember reading that one.
Everything's in my books.
Okay.
What,
I'll
you
have
think
to
I,
look that
think I
one
write
up.
new stuff just to come on this show?
That's nice. I like it.
I like it too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I like the idea. I am the argument.
Yeah, I like that, and my daughters like it too, which always
Yeah.
makes me feel good, you know. But it's not one that I've really gotten a lot of attention over. But the thing about it is, that's because maybe it's never been presented. So I'm thinking, well, dude, we have a podcast. You present poetry. Read this poem, and so that was how you got that.
Yeah. By argument, do you mean you're the obstacle or that you're the contention?
Well, both actually.
No.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, page 3. Okay.
Oh, you found
Okay,
it?
it's in Beyond the Waters. It's not in Coffee with the Bard.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
But you know what? I want to hear that question again, Bobby. Can you remember what you just asked me? Because I want to think about it. I'm not going to do it, but
By saying that you're the argument, do you mean that you're the obstacle or the contention?
neither. I think
Are
that,
you the obstacle I need to get away from, or are you the contention that's always in my face?
I will answer your question like that. That was not in my mind when I wrote the poem. That's all I can say. I'm very interested in your take on it, though. This is why I asked you to repeat it, because the beauty of poetry is, I don't think you know everything that's in your poems. You may think you do.
Right, yeah. You don't know what other people are going to
You don't know what other people are going
Yeah.
to ask. You know.
Well, because see, to me, the argument is about the fact that people argue. So it's not about your point of view. It's the fact that they like to argue. They like
That's
to
a big part
spar
of it.
with
Yeah,
other
yeah,
people
yeah.
about ideas. Yeah.
Right. But I did want to end it by saying, because I'm not the argument, that doesn't mean that I don't listen, or I wouldn't listen to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was kind of where I thought it went, and
Yeah.
I like the poem. I really like that idea of the argument.
Yeah.
well, I wanted to be non-corporeal.
Right.
I wanted to be not exactly in my head, but it's a think poem, you know. I want people to think about it. What is he talking about? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's about the debate, you know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Is it my turn again?
I think it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Okay, well, I'll read you I was talking to my daughter, my youngest daughter, on Father's Day. She said, Dad, I'm going to subscribe to Storyworth. And it's what it is answering a question about my life every week for a whole year. And then they put them in a hardbound book and give it to me. And I'm just going to turn around. I'll get it next Father's Day, but my daughter's birthday is July 15th. So I'm just going to turn around and give it to her so she can have it. But it's been very interesting. What I've been doing is writing the answers to these questions, and I've picked 40 of them that I'm going to answer over the year. And then I've been putting them in a graphic, normally with a picture that my daughters might recognize from our family time together. And then I recite it using my little clips program. And so they hear that story in my voice. And so anyway, I was talking to her yesterday, and we were talking about this subject, and I said, oh, I just wrote a poem this morning about it, and I read it to her. So This is a poem called Turns Out. Turns out, laughter's not the best medicine. Touch is. But if the one who touches you can also make you laugh, you will be healed. Because turns out, healing isn't being free from disease, but being filled with love through touch that tickles your ailing innards and heals you from the heart side out. Turns out.
I love
Yeah,
those alien
nice.
images.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that line. I should have told you all from the very beginning. I'm a thief. And now with you guys being published, it'd be a little bit harder to steal your stuff.
Well, I'm going to send it to you to see if you put it up on New Poets Wednesday, and you can just change the name on it to just cross out my name and put Gary.
What's yours on? I love it. I love it. Who can know? You never know.
In fact,
Maybe your
since
family.
I have the font program, I'll do it for you. I'll cross out my name and put Gary Cox right below it.
Okay, that might be
Gary Cox, comma, thief.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But I've been a fan of colorful language, which includes profanity and all the other kind of stuff like that. I've been a fan of colorful language since I was in the first grade. If somebody would say something and just catch my ear, I said, wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
The only examples I can think of where I give you some are pretty profane, so we don't necessarily need to go there. But anyway, I think I was going someplace with that, but I feel like now I've exposed myself, so I better shut up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with exposing yourself? As long as you keep your clothes on.
Well, that poem that I just read, the graphic for it is a picture of Carol and I together, but it's washed out in a pencil drawing. And then that pencil drawing is washed out. So it's a very it's just a faded picture of her and I together.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just been amazing for me with some of the things I've been going through, especially. But we laugh a lot together, and so we were talking about laughter being the best medicine, and that's where all of that came from. That it's not the best medicine, touch is, but the one who touches you can also make you laugh. You will be healed.
Absolutely adore it. I absolutely adore it. Yeah,
that's a great. I'm happy for you, Bobby. That's happening to you, especially right now in your life.
Yes.
That's really, really great to have that kind of support.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what I am going to do, though, I don't think I'll just put my name on your poem.
Okay.
I don't think I will. Anyway, no. But what I do intend to do is start using those graphics on maybe my shorter poems, because I mean, shoot, I don't know. If it'll get me 50 hits in a week, I'd be happy with that. So
yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean, why don't I just send you my poem and you put the graphics on it?
Well, I could do that too.
Actually, we could go back and forth. You could claim my stuff and I could claim your stuff. Who would know?
Yeah.
Good. Crazy now. Is it my turn? It is.
No, it's Dale's
turn. No, it's probably my turn.
It
is Dale's turn.
But the good news is I've got a really short one to end with, so not to worry.
Okay. Now this is, continuing the thought here about there's so much more than meets the eye. And you got to remember, I was a social worker, So anyway, this is about suicide. So, this is where we're going on this. And I call it Exit Door, because people should be more aware of people that are having problems, and this is something we want to eliminate. Anyway, this is called Exit Door. Over a doorknob, trousers knotted into a noose, knees bent, neck secure, throwing his weight. With a snap, he hung himself on a doorknob, his own pants. Calculated, researched, envisioned, no doubt, hundreds of times until tonight, bending his knees, wanting so badly with a snap to move on, seeing only, throwing his weight, this one way, his only way out.
Okay, so I was dealing with my phone and I only heard part of it, but I want to hear all of it. Can you read it again?
You know what? I was fooling with my phone too, only because I thought maybe it was Colette or somebody.
No, it was my phone ringing and I forgot to turn the ringer off, but it's off now.
Yeah.
But I need to hear that poem again.
Yes. Yeah, because
Okay.
it's very powerful and
Okay, it's called Exit Door.
okay.
Over a doorknob, trousers knotted into a noose, knees bent, neck secure, throwing his weight. With a snap, he hung himself on a doorknob, his own pants. Calculated, researched, envisioned, no doubt, hundreds of times until tonight, bending his knees, wanting so badly with a snap to move on, seeing only, throwing his weight this one way, his only way out.
I'm assuming this is a true story.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
social work.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this was someone closer to me than at work. But what was appalling to me, this is when you don't want to get the phone call in the middle of the night, And this was my stepson, my husband's boy from another marriage. And he was 33 and he had mental problems, he had drug problems. And he actually was in an institution at the time. And so the question is, how can that happen? And this is like a preferred way of people taking their life that have thought about it a lot. You can be confined to a room in a padded cell, and all you need to do is know the logistics of how you can snap your neck with clothing on a doorknob. And he was tall. He was over 6 feet tall. I can't imagine how he even did that on a doorknob, but he did. He did. So
there was a line that I almost took to be positive, as in this was a solution for him. It wasn't as
it was his only way out.
Yeah,
that's in his mind. That's all he thought. That was his way out.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing, Yeah. And in fact, another sad thing is when I went to the funeral, and all of these people were at the funeral, people I had never met. I had no, and they thought he was so wonderful. And it's like, and he had a girlfriend that thought he was wonderful, but is somewhere in his mind, none of that was enough, So, anyway.
The line, I don't know if that was actually the line. I just heard a part of it where I sort of like construed it as this is how he could be positive that the death was not the end of it. It was actually a step. I think
he moved on. Yeah, he was moving on.
Yeah.
He was choosing to move on.
Okay.
He wanted out. Yeah, he wanted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This little ditty is called "It Don't Differ Me None," and Feels kind of lightweight now, but maybe we need a little bit of.
We need something light,
Okay. It don't differ me none, all right? Don't invite me to your looting parties. Don't even hint at who you think I should hate. I ain't listening, and I wouldn't care if I was. It don't differ me none whose side you're on, long as you hugged your kids today or helped your neighbor get her cat off the roof. If you got love in your heart that you share for free, you're all right with the world, and you're all right with me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can you read that one again? I'm sorry, it takes me 2 readings to grab a hold of
You
everything.
know, I think this is, we're
Yeah.
learning. We're
It's
learning.
a good sign. It's a very good sign.
I don't think
if
I've
you-
ever shared the way that we're sharing. I mean, of course I've shared and I read other people's stuff, but the sort of the depth that we're getting into is sort of new territory. And I think it's good to go back and read parts of them again or the whole thing if that's,
Yeah, that's workshopping it. It's a great thing.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not a big fan of workshopping.
Yeah, but you just said you liked it.
I know. And once again, I contradict myself. All right, it don't differ me none. Don't invite me to your looting parties. Don't even hint at who you think I should hate. I ain't listening. I wouldn't care if I was. It don't differ me none whose side you're on. Long as you hugged your kids today or helped your neighbor get her cat off the roof. If you got love in your heart that you share for free, you're what's right with the world, and you're all right with me.
Yeah, I like that
It's a good
poem.
poem. Yeah, it's a good poem.
I'm going to steal it. I'm going to find that one in your book and put my name on it.
Okay, I'll tell you what, if you put it into that process, you can put your name on it. I just want to see how powerful this process is, I'm starting to think, man, I need something like that on all my stuff, I don't know how you can do a 3-pager or a 2-pager, whatever, but anyway.
It's on page 59, Bobby.
I'm going to go to Amazon.com and scratch out his name and put my name on page 59 all the way through.
You can be coffee with a Barb.
I don't care if it don't differ me none, Bobby.
Well, we can always only say that because nobody ever makes a lot of money selling poetry.
Well, this apparently is true. Anyway, I think I need to get a clock or something in here. It seems to me that we got 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're just about done. Yeah.
Okay, so definitely I'd like to meet again in 2 weeks. I'll find out about sharing the one podcast that's totally, it's as good as we can make it in terms of cutting out the extra stuff and everything.
Okay.
And I'll follow through on that and let you all know where that's going. And other than that, as I say in my, and by the way, I don't have to be the one that ends the meeting, but I just happen to have this thing written in front of me here that I was supposed to read last week, and I think I forgot. Anyway, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know if I'll make it in 2 weeks. I leave on the 27th to go up to see my kids. And so it just all depends on what's going on at 2 o'clock.
I hear you. Well, I think it's all the more reason that you should listen to this. In one way or another, we'll see you in 2 weeks. You say I live there. But keep writing. It's good for you. So you
Yes,
can
it
get
is.
around that, Bobby.
Okay.
That's what that's my message to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. See you next time.
So we're good. And thank you so much. This is so valuable to me. And I think some other people. We're getting there. we're getting there.
Thank you for putting it together.
All right.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
ending now. I'm clicking end, and I know to do it
Okay.
twice.
Okay,
All right, see you guys.
adios.
Okay. So.